With the popularity of the American Express Gold on a downtrend and some of the biggest names in the credit card space canceling their American Express Gold card, I still believe this credit card is in a league of its own with some of the highest thresholds in the dining and grocery categories. And in this video, I'm going to teach you guys 5 tips and tricks to be in the 1% of American Express Gold credit card holders and capitalize on that $0 effective annual fee. But before we hop into that content, guys, feel free to smash that subscribe button as it directly supports my channel, and I release credit card content weekly here on YouTube. Taking us into our first tip, and definitely one of the most comedic credits that we have on the American Express Gold, is the Dunkin' Donuts credit. Given to us in $7 monthly increments and totaling $84 on an annualized basis, it is essential to capitalize at every credit at your disposal to lower down that effective annual fee. And hands down, the largest complaint that I have seen online are people having the issue going into Dunkin' month after month just to spend $7. And this tip is going to make all of those people's life simpler because a majority of people aren't aware that you can preload your virtual Dunkin' card utilizing your Amex Gold as the funding source month after month and not even have to go into Dunkin' Donuts. And this way you can stack and stack and stack those $7 monthly credits and make a larger Dunkin' purchase down the line. All you have to do is download the Dunkin' app. If you don't have an account, create an account. And at the top left, you're going to go to Add and Manage Cards. There, you're going to have access to a virtual Dunkin' card. And your funding source, of course, you're going to link your American Express Gold. And now all you have to do is load $7 every first of the month. And now you effectively can utilize this credit month after month, even if you're traveling, even if you don't want Dunkin', or have the ability to make it into Dunkin'. So if you were previously having issues capitalizing on your $7 monthly credit, start to virtually load your account up. And next time you're on the road, in the airport, and you see that Dunkin' Donuts, you now have a larger balance. So you can purchase an entire meal, not only for you or even your significant other, solely in your American Express Gold Dunkin' credits. Moving on to tip number 2, and something that has definitely leveled up my American Express membership reward game is Rakuten stacking. American Express credit card holders that utilize Rakuten definitely take their point stacking methods to the next level. And a lot of people bypass Rakuten because it's something that we remember from our childhood that our mom or grandmother used. But Rakuten, a lot of people aren't aware that you can get paid out in American Express membership reward points. So if you see a website offering you 6% back via Rakuten, that is essentially 6% back in American membership reward points. And you can stack this not only with your card's multiplier, but the offers offered to you in the American Express membership tab. So stick with me, guys. I'm going to give you guys a practical example on how just 2 to 3 minutes of intention can translate to 10 to 15% back via Amex membership reward points. So I'm going to use my wife as an example because I'm the purchaser of collectibles. She's more of the online shopper. So let's say she was looking to purchase some new makeup via Elf Cosmetics, which is one of her favorite brands. All I would have to do is go into Rakuten and type in Elf. And as you see, that pops up. Right now, they're offering you 5% back on Elf if you purchase through their extension. So if you're unaware, Rakuten is just an online extension that takes you to the actual consumer website and gives you a little bit of money in kickback. So right now, via Rakuten, you're getting 5% back on Elf Cosmetics. Then I'm going to go into my Amex membership tab and type in Elf in the offers. And as you see, right now, American Express is offering a 7% back on Elf Cosmetics when you check out with your American Express Gold card online. So right now, we're getting 7% back via American Express Gold, 5% back via Rakuten, and also our American Express gets a 1x back on all purchases. So essentially, instead of just getting the 1x back on miscellaneous expenses, now we are getting 13% cash back in the form of Amex membership reward points. There is no credit card in the entire credit card game that's going to get you 13% back on an online purchase such as this. So in this scenario where the cap is $250 via the American Express offer, when we take into consideration the 7% back from Amex, the 5% from Rakuten, and the 1x back on the Amex Gold, we are getting $32.50 back via Amex membership reward points. If we would have just conventionally checked out with our Amex Gold, all we would have gotten was $2.50 worth. I don't know about you guys, but for a few minutes of intention, getting $32.50 back in Amex points sounds a lot better than just $2.50. And if you intentionally implement this into many of your online purchases, guys, you're going to start to see your Amex membership reward points multiply and multiply and multiply, and your redemptions are going to get just that much better. Moving on to number three, and honestly, my favorite credit on the American Express Gold is the $100 via Resy. Now, the biggest precaution before we dive into this credit is that I have to tell you guys to enroll in your benefits. American Express is intentionally sneaky by not giving you the credits until you enroll in them. So you can dine at 500 Resy restaurants in the first 6 months of having it, and you will receive $0 via statement credits. I cannot tell you guys personally how many people I've ran into the wild, either at work or in my friend group, that are still unaware of this Resy credit. So before we even move on, make sure you go to your membership tab in your American Express app and accept your Resy credit. After you've completed this step, the rest is easy. All you need to do now is dine at a Resy restaurant. And the most common question I get is how to use it. And the best part is you do not need to do anything after you've enrolled in it. You do not need to make a reservation via the Resy restaurant. You do not need to let your server know that you have a statement credit. All you legitimately need to do is pay at a restaurant with your American Express Gold that is a Resy restaurant. You can figure out to make sure which restaurants are Resy restaurants by just going to the website resy.com and looking up the restaurant. I personally always make a reservation because this way I know I'm going to get a seat, number one. And number two, I am 100% sure it's going to trigger my Resy credit. But the best part about the Resy credit is that this alone is going to wash away around 30% of your annual fee. And you are not losing any inherent value. You are more than likely going to eat at this restaurant regardless. And this way, you're going to get $50 every 6 months by eating at one of these restaurants. Moving on to tip number four, and something I heavily advise against doing is converting your Amex membership reward points into statement credits. The main reason I do not advise to do this is because you are essentially throwing away around 40% of your Amex membership reward points. And that is because the ratio that Amex gives you is 10,000 Amex membership reward points is worth $60 via statement credits. Under the assumption that credit card points are worth around 1 cent per point, but I personally value my Amex membership reward points around 1.5 to 2 cents per point, we are throwing away credit card points by completing this. And the main reason is that Amex wants you to do this. This is why when you go to your membership reward points, it is the first thing you are going to see on the right hand side. And the main reason I do not like this option is because it essentially turns our 4x back on dining and groceries into 2.4x. We are essentially lowering these multipliers down by about 40% and thus making this credit card not even worth it. To keep that 4x actually at 4x, we need to be achieving at least 1 cent per every single one of our Amex membership reward points. And if you wish to turn them into statement credits, what I would advise to at least keep that 1 cent per point viable is to go to the gift card tab and look for any redemptions that are in that 1 cent per point redemption value. An example is let's say I want to go buy a new pair of shoes at Saks Fifth Avenue. If I go to the gift card portion, I will see that right now at this given time, Saks is giving you for 50,000 Amex membership reward points $500, which is essentially 1 cent per point. Again, I do not like doing this, but I am totally fine with getting at least 1 cent per point for every one of your Amex membership reward points. Because by doing that, you are ensuring that your 4x on dining is actually 4x, and we are not losing around 40% by converting them into statement credits. Moving on to tip number five, and my second favorite subset of credits on the American Express Gold is the Uber Eats and Grubhub statement credits. If you're unaware, both of these credits are given to you in $10 monthly increments, totaling $240 worth of value on an annualized basis. This is allowing us to kind of get that effective annual fee as close to $0 as humanly possible. And the biggest complaint, unfortunately, that I hear about this credit is that by the time you subtract the fees as well as the tip for the driver delivering your food, you are essentially left with no statement credit. And the easiest solution for this problem is to utilize the pickup option on both Grubhub and Uber Eats. This way, you are eliminating the need to pay the taxes and fees with delivery, as well as additional tip for the driver bringing you your food. I love my kind of go-to are definitely Chipotle as well as coffee shops where I can get my purchase as close to $10 as possible and make sure I'm maximizing each and every one of these credits every single month. The main reason I'm emphasizing these credits because this makes up around 50% of your American Express Gold credits, and if you can maximize both of these credits on a monthly basis, 12 months a year, you are getting around $240 of value taken away from the annual fee on an annualized basis. The last tips and trick that I want to talk about before ending the video, guys, and easily one of the most valuable things that you can do as an Amex credit card holder, is to learn your transfer partners. In my opinion, the easiest way to capture value from the credit card points and miles game is to transfer them out to external transfer partners for travel. This way, our credit card points are worth even more and more value when we redeem them for travel. And my favorite way to utilize my Amex membership reward points are for flight transfer partners. This is not only because American Express offers bonus transfers every once in a while for specific transfer partners. The perfect example is right now at the time of filming this video. If you had to take a flight via the Qatar Airways, they're giving you a 20% bonus for each and every single one of your credit card points. Another great example of why you need to know your transfer partners is that it can even unlock transfer partners that you don't even know you have access to. And a great example is Alaska Airlines. There are still some people that are unaware that Hawaiian Airlines has merged with Alaska, essentially making it for you to transfer your Amex membership reward points into Alaska Airlines, which to me is one of the most valuable credit card transfer partners in the entire credit card game. And the way you can do so is by transferring your Amex points into Hawaiian Airlines. And then via the Alaska website, you can transfer your Hawaiian Airlines miles into the Alaska ecosystem. This is just one of the few examples that you can kind of unlock more transfer partners by just having some knowledge on what you have access to and what you can spend your credit card points on. So, the more you familiarize yourself with your credit card points, the more value and more vacations you're going to be able to take in the future. But guys, we're going to end the video here. I hope that something we've talked about in this video has added value to your credit card rotation. And if you enjoyed content such as this, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, as it directly supports my channel. And if you want another American Express related video, I'll have one right here for you.